What is going on, everyone? We are back. We did take last week off. It was a much needed break, and we'll jump in on why we needed that break shortly. I'm going to let everybody pop on here, especially my co hosts, Liz and Swan. Welcome, everyone. Thank you guys for jumping in. We've already got what's going on? I see Lindsay's here. Kelly's here. It's always nice to see the other fit model girlies. What's up? Swan, look your hair. That's so cute.
Is it? I just threw it up. I didn't brush it this morning.
Yeah, and I saw, Liz was wearing a hat, and I'm like, I'm gonna wear. You remember this hat?
Is that from the seminar? Oh.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I haven't worn it yet, and I'm getting my hair done tomorrow, so it was
Were you getting
perfect.
done to it?
Just the usual, just the black. We can't change the vibe. The black cat vibe.
Yeah, it would screw
Um,
everything up if one of us went blonde.
yeah. Well, I've already been blonde. I'm going to. Is Liz? Oh, there she is. I see her. I was gonna message her. Where are you at? Hello, Sharon. All
Hello.
right, the girlies are here. Yeah, I like it. I like your hair like that. It's like cutesy girl next door.
It's my go-to cardio hairstyle.
Yes, look at her hat. I knew she was wearing a hat. I was like, okay.
My hair is dirty.
I love it. I feel
I
like
was
I
just
need to
telling
put like
Swan
my
I'm
hood
due
on
for.
now.
I was just telling Swan I'm due for my hair to get dyed. So I was like, this is perfect. I'll wear a hat too.
Yeah.
My hair's dirty, so that's how you know.
We're
It's
like
been
in
slick back beanie
prep
week.
mode.
Yeah. Well, I get my hair done in the morning, so I'm not that behind, but I could start seeing like a little bit of the brown chrome coming through, and I'm like, hold
Yeah,
on, it's not
the
my
milk shake.
dark. Yeah. So, we gotta keep the black vibes here.
I got like one new gray hair that sprung up like recently.
Gray
Uh-oh,
Just
hair.
bury it.
stress.
You guys, I gotta tell a funny story because my husband says we're not funny. So,
Oh,
what's hilarious is Liz was like talking the other day, and she was like, "So my mom is like pretty much
Yeah.
your age."
You forgetting we're so much older than Liz. She's a
I was like, not to
handicap.
age all of us here, but but it was a compliment. My mom was like, "Wow, I wish I would have like got into weightlifting and stuff because damn, I never knew that she was close in age." So
I,
yeah,
I'm still laughing about it though, because like I'll be like, "Yeah, I could be your mom." Okay.
I mean, it would be a very teen pregnancy situation, but
Yeah.
it's technically possible.
Well,
Biologically,
it
yeah,
is.
it was
Your mother is
possible.
only 6 years older than me. I'm like, wow,
That's
okay.
wild.
So Liz didn't realize like I've never had Botox and I actually don't have any gray hair, believe it or not. Even though I get a dye, like they're like, she's like, no, you don't have gray hair. So, there's some maybe like I don't know what to tell you guys.
Lizzie said she still can. She does Pilates. That's her thing. She's a Pilates girl. But
I
she's sports. Like she talks to me about bodybuilding stuff. It's funny because she
know.
like you interact with a little bit and you get all of it.
Yeah.
So she gets all
That's
the
awesome. I
yes,
had
her
to drop
people.
that funny comment because I still kind of laugh about it. I'm like, man, I am old. I'm pushing it, but nobody knows. That's okay.
Well, that's the thing.
Um,
It's a surprise every time. So
Yeah, yeah. That's why I keep telling Liz, I'm like, it's okay, I got a second to you because you're like half my age.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to the 20-year-old.
Yeah. But see, Liz is very mature, so we love Liz.
Hmm.
Very mature. So we are going to talk about the last couple of weeks. So before you guys jumped on, I said we did go MIA for a week. Life was lifing. We had viruses going around, and like it just was not happening. Like there was just too much happening around in our life. So we opted out of a week of pro chat, which is fine. Liz, you're going to UK for Emmanuel, right?
tomorrow we leave tomorrow.
You excited?
Yeah, it just feels weird when it's actually like here. And I feel like we haven't actually unpacked our suitcases at all this month. So it's just been like
And go,
walking
go, go.
it back in the suitcase. Yeah. But we're very excited. I got all the things together. So I have a butt pillow and a neck pillow. Like I'm fully prepped. I got my body work today. My butt
Wait,
is
there's
so
butt
bony.
pillows?
Yeah, like a sacrum pillow for like when people break their tailbone.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
I'm prepared. I'm prepared. So Yeah.
That's a
Note
long
to
flight,
self, you
right?
guys. If you
Yeah.
guys
It's
are
like eight
flying to
hours.
Taiwan, get a butt pillow because apparently there's such thing.
Yes. I'll let you know. I'll let you know if it was worth the $25 and
Okay.
extra space in my backpack. I'll keep you updated.
I
I
could have
love
benefited from
it.
a butt pillow for the drive back from Tennessee.
Dude, my
Yeah.
butt is bony. Like in all the car
Yeah, there's
rides
no
that we've
fat
been doing
there.
lately, I've been so uncomfortable. So I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated if it's an essential item or
Your
not.
Or I
butt
could
is bony. It
save.
does not look bony,
It
girl.
feels bony. It feels very bony
Aw.
right now.
Your butt's looking good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're looking great. And Swan was in Tennessee. She just got
Mhm.
back.
Yeah.
Eight
Right.
So
hour
it's
drive there, 8 hour drive back.
that's wild. Are you feeling better? You're back?
I think I'm feeling better now. I'm finally recovering from the shrimp shenanigans because I had shrimp during the time I was there and it didn't do well to my body. I'm all swollen and stuff,
Oh
holding on
man,
to water.
no more shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're blocking you from shrimp because every time you've had it,
It's like my
it's
face is still like kind of puffy from it.
oh. Emily
Drinking.
wants Emily asked a question. She wants to know, is Emmanuel qualified already?
No, he's not. No, we're actually like game planning what his. I think he's going to go on like a reign of terror after the UK. So
Yeah.
I
He's gonna
think
Yeah.
he's.
get
Yeah,
two
I think he's
wins.
going to hit because there's pro shows every week in April for men's physique. So I think he might slide through at Wasatch. We'll see.
What?
So
That's
Might
gonna
as
be
well.
crazy.
well, it's like how cool would that be, you
You
know?
do a show
And I'm
together
like,
for your
he's
photo
already gonna
view.
be there. Like, we're already paying for him to be there, so we might as well try and go win some money.
Yeah, it's not like you have a kid to take care of while you're
No,
there.
I'm like,
So
you just
like,
gotta
Except the dogs.
watch the dogs, and we're good.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, let's hope he just gets that win at Arnold. So if he
yeah.
wins, does he get to qualify for Olympia winning Arnold?
No, he still still could win another one. It's 2 wins for men's physique. Yeah, only so the Arnold, Ohio counts as like an instant qualification. I want to say it's Arnold, Ohio, um, Dubai Pro, and then I'm
Pittsburgh.
missing one, Pittsburgh. And then I think there's one other overseas one that counts as like a immediate qualification, but the rest of them you have to win too. So
Oh, come
yeah,
on, Emmanuel. His back was looking good. I saw it on his story. I mean, he's got a crazy back
but
anyway. But
it's really good. So we feel
this
good
is
about it.
exciting. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you're gonna be like MIA from us, and we're gonna miss you. We're gonna message you. Last time she went to the regular Arnold, we're like, we miss you.
It is like trying to keep up, but because by the time I would get there, there was like 20 voicemails. I was like, oh fuck. And so then I would like be finally caught up, and then there's a new conversation I have to catch up on.
All of our voice messages.
Yeah, we'll just like block you out for a couple days just so you don't get
Yeah,
overwhelmed. We'll be
we'll
like,
give
Yeah.
okay,
you
here's
like a
Swan and I will
quick
message
note.
you. Yeah, we'll put you on hold and then like when you're ready, just be like, okay, I'm back, you guys. We'll be like, okay, let's get back to our conversations.
I'm
But
like,
we do
honestly, leave it in the group chat because the time change, I have a feeling I'm gonna be sitting up in bed just waiting for something to do. Yeah,
We'll
so
listen to us spiral about something new
I'll just be
while
six
you're
hours
over
late,
there.
but it's fine.
yeah, so last week was fun because we were all kind of in our own like minds, like with different things, and like we all just had different things going on, and it was just different stressors. I know myself, like last week, going into the Carolina Pro Seminar, I was like having this crazy aching pain. And hey, what's up, John? Pro Bikini News Network. I had like this crazy aching pain from training going into the Carolina Pro Seminar week. And it diminished the week prior, but then it came back, and it's always after a certain training day. So I was like, okay, there's correlation here. Like something's going on with my Thursday training workout that I'm just like not recovering at all because that's 2 Fridays in a row. But plus, I was fighting this crazy virus, which I think you got, Liz. And like Liz was making a joke. She's like, "Oh, it's like the virus where you like get shredded after it." I'm like, "That's what you guys are
Okay,
making fun of me." Like one day I woke up and I was shredded. I'm
yeah.
like, no, I think I'm sick.
And you were super sick like the days before, but then like it was like the next days you were like boom, shredded. And I feel like the same thing happened to me. I was like really sick, and then I feel like I woke up and I was like, okay, I'm lean as of today. Like
You need to get
there's
that
some
virus then. Get
right.
something
I'm like, just
going.
go pop on Swan real quick.
Get rid of all
Yeah,
the
you know
shrimp
what? This
smelling
virus,
going.
trust me, it's going around out in the world. Like
Yeah.
it's everywhere, man. It's nuts.
Go
But I got
like
my
a,
daughter.
a flat bench or
I
something.
need
That'd
to
be great
go to
for
like a
the
bodybuilding seminar.
I don't know, girl. Like it was, yeah, because I think some people got People
Sorry, guys. I'm like a super spreader. I'm like, I was texting them, other Brittany. I was like, they would put me in jail in 2020. But I tested negative for everything. They were like, oh, it's probably just something. I was like, okay.
just like an adenovirus or whatever, but like so I got it from my daughter because I guess we got back from the spring break and like all the kids had the same virus. But it was just like this weird respiratory virus that was going around because I had like this strange like exhaustion one Wednesday. Then the next Wednesday, this when I lost my voice going into Japan Pro. Like this is how long this thing has lasted. And then the
That's
following week I had all these aches and pains and I still like just could not recover. And I think my immune system was just on fire. So like it was just like mad. And my metabolism was like shot through trying to recover. But anyway, I just could not recover from my workouts anymore. So I was like, okay, time to deload. So I took a deload week. I pulled down my intensity a lot, like way less heavy lifts, changed my rep scheme. I went a lot higher, lighter weights, whatever, eliminated some training exercises, like did no like lateral delt raises or anything like that. And then I took 2 full rest days as well, back to normal, which is great. And my ankles were starting to bother me. I needed new shoes. So so I got new shoes. My ankles are fine now. Like my tendons are fine, but like I couldn't pose because my ankles were killing me. And
yeah.
I'm like, what is going on? So finally back to normal and finally back with prepping because I know we're going to talk about our preps, so we might as well start with that and then we'll go in the seminars. But yeah, because I'm a week behind you guys, like so I'm 5 weeks out, you guys are 4 weeks out. So at a 6 week out mark I took that deload and I'm so happy I did because I feel like I'm like back after it, but I did change my training. I
I'm like
rewrote it
that with
all.
Netflix too. At 6 weeks, it's like you take it now or there's
Yeah,
not going to be too much time to do it. So,
it's kind of where I was at in my mind. I'm like, okay, we're 6 weeks out. I've got this like leeway. My weight is like pretty close to where I need to be anyway. I
mhm.
might as well do it now. And I changed the training and like I did it yesterday, like off of my deload. And I'm like, bro, I got like so much more time now. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do a couple extra glute exercises and some stretching. I'm like, okay, now I have a lot of time. I'm like, okay, I definitely was overtraining because
Yeah.
I had a lot of time left. I'm like, I'm done. So I needed to do it. I do train a lot, and I probably just was overextending myself in a deficit, right? So like I'm happy with that. And then I changed my posing so it's less like pressure on my upper body. And we'll go into that part in a little bit, but and so I'm feeling good now. My weight is like just staggering, like around, I'm losing about a half a pound average, which is kind of where I need to be, where it's not too aggressive, keep the fullness, but like we're pretty much where close to where I need to be, it sounds like. I'll talk about that too, but like just a hair more, just a hair tighter. And
Yeah.
then just enough space so that we could actually carve into the show. Like I can't just like walk on stage. I mean, I could maybe, but I think we want to have some manipulation where we could fill the muscles so it's a
That
little bit,
pop.
yeah, pressure onto you. You can't just like show up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like there has to be something happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's going good now, but it wasn't good like last week. Like I'm literally like only okay like the last 2 days.
There's a reason it was a dark week for the cats last week.
It
Okay.
was
We all
very
went through
dark.
it. We're
Yeah.
so
So
aligned with everything, including our bad weeks.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'll talk more about like how I was feeling mindset wise after the seminar, but like when we talk about the seminar. But Liz, how about you? How's prep going?
It's going really good. I feel like it's been weird because there hasn't been big scale changes for me. Like I've just kind of floated from like 119 to 117 depending on like where I'm at and my cycle and stuff. And I finally hit like 117 even, which is my prep low. But now that I'm here, I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know why I thought this was gonna look different. Like I think I thought prep was gonna look different for me and numbers were gonna look different. And I have my mindset on these like 110s numbers, which is not going to happen for me. I'm realizing as I'm starting to get lean. I sent you those pictures I took last night, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to be right around 116 for show
Yeah,
day.
You're already
Because,
shredded.
dude, yeah, and I don't know where that came from. Like, I was just kind of like, okay. And I finally got, you finally get the text from your coach where you're like, this is where we need to be. I finally
yeah,
got that from Tom, which was like a good feeling because we've just been
yeah.
pushing, and I'm not going to question it. I'm not going to complain. I'm hungry. I'm tired. Whatever. It's part of it. But I've just been rolling with it. So to finally get that was like a really good feeling.
And it's a good
Um,
point at 4 weeks out. Like that's
yeah.
perfect.
Well,
Yeah.
and then, we talked about this weeks ago, but we kind of planned it this way because of all the travel coming up. I'll be like 2.5-ish weeks out when we get home. So that way I can kind of like, honestly, I'll probably end up losing more weight while I'm over there just because of all the activity. But then we can focus on like making any adjustments, whether it's filling back out or if we need to dig a little bit more, we have time to do that without like really stressing having to get body fat off. Like now it's off. So keeping it off to me is so much easier than actively trying to get it off, especially when your body's in a stress state, when you're not sleeping, when digestion might be irregular because you're traveling. There's so many factors
Oh
that throw me off
yeah.
that it's nice to just have that one less thing on my list to worry about. Especially because it's just me and a male in the UK. Like no one else is coming with us. We don't have normally a male has like a team with him. So
Mhm.
there's already that like stress. So to not have to worry about my prep is nice. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so you gotta help him with like his food and his tan and his
yeah,
makeup, and you're gonna be busy and you're probably gonna be stressing losing some weight during that. But then when he
yeah.
wins, you can go out to eat.
Yeah, yeah, and enjoy like that nice little steak. Like I think we're gonna try and take a train to London on Sunday. So I'm like, I think everything's working out the way that it needs to. I did want to shout out my competition jewelry sponsor, Center Stage. They are sponsoring me for my pro debut and my pro
Congrats.
season. So I have
Ooh,
some stuff on the way from them. I've never had a competition jewelry sponsor before. I'm very
that's
excited.
exciting.
Oh,
I
I
was
know
just
you were
ordering my stuff
asking.
off Amazon, so I'm like, this is a lot nicer.
I know
Yeah.
you were asking us about that, so that's amazing.
Yes,
Congratulations. It's always
very,
fun
very
to have
excited.
those sponsors.
Yes. So yeah, I think that's
Awesome.
really my updates. Pass it off.
Yay! And Swan, how's prepping?
Last or what week are we in? We're 4 weeks out. So this
Yeah.
past week has been kind of rough. I was making really good progress throughout, like averaging about 2 pounds a week. And then last week, I actually had to gain because of all the shrimp I ate. We already talked about that, but that's been an added stressor, just seeing yourself go from being kind of making a lot of progress to not so much and going the opposite direction. So I'm in my head about that a bit. So it's been kind of rough mentally. And I've hit the point in prep now where I'm starting to get kind of the body dysmorphia feels. So when I walk by a mirror, it's like I can't trust what I'm seeing or how my brain's interpreting it. So going through that, but I think I'm on the up and up.
Good. And
Gotta
remember, it's
gone
temporary, the
home.
shrimp stuff, but
Yeah.
it's hard, even when it's temporary, because I know we all have temporary weight gains from our cycles, whether it's ovulation or our menses or whatever. And we're just like, or if we didn't go to the bathroom and we're like, oh, great. And you automatically think everything just like fell apart. And
Like
I'm like,
goes to
no,
shit.
yeah, it's still the same. And like, listen, like I tell my clients the same thing with coaching, and I'm like, tell them the exact same thing, but I could still spiral. Like, like I'm like, oh well, there goes everything that I was just working hard for. Like how come I gain weight? And you
I
start
finally
questioning.
got down that extra pound, and then that like water sheen comes on from whatever inflammatory thing that was, whether it's the shrimp
Yeah.
or
Yeah, look at my delt.
it's popping.
It's popping, yeah. I
You
think
know
it's like my
why? Because
body, every 5 pound increment of loss, it starts like spazzing out and
I
it doesn't like it. So it's like, no, I don't want to be this weight. So it goes up a little bit and then it's like shoots right back down a few days later. So I'm just
oh
waiting for
yeah.
that to
Forward
happen.
one step back. Fast forward one step
Yeah.
back.
It's like, just give me this win. Like,
Yeah.
you cross this weight.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a mental game for even if you're a lifestyle person listening, like you're not a competitor, like it's a mental game, like because you put all this hard work in and then you're like, but wait, I was literally just like getting all this results and where'd it go? Like you just feel like you just like went out the window. No, I was laughing because I have a high carb day today. I skipped it last week because I did the deload. I'm like, I make executive decisions all the time. I have my nutrition coach, but I'm like, I'm doing a deload. And then I messaged him. I'm like, I took 2 days off. He's like, I don't care. Like he trusts that I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I skipped the high carb day because there was no reason to do a high carb day with a deload. And he goes like, that makes sense. So I finally took one after 2 weeks. So today, that's why I was laughing about my delt. I'm like, yo, I just ate like I
So
literally
cool.
like still had so many carbs left before I did the call. I'm like, I gotta eat 3 apple rice cakes, and I'm not
Oh,
mad about it.
Apple.
I
That's so
love an apple rice
specific.
cake. It tastes like the little baby food puffs. That's what they taste like to me. They're so good.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, those I don't really get those. I just gotta have the Quaker, but we are out of rice cakes because I ate 3 chocolate ones today too. But yeah, so like I'm
My
really
closing
full.
client, Beth, said F the scale. Yeah, girl. We just had this talk.
Yes.
We just had this talk while she was here. Because I had to
Oh,
send her a video of how she looked like 4 weeks ago versus how she looked the last time I saw her. And I was like, yeah, the scale. throw that shit out the window right now because I see it on you. Sorry to
Yeah, and
interrupt.
it's funny because I was telling you guys yesterday, like, oh, I was spiraling, midway spiraling. I was like, oh, I had a posing practice session. Like, I'm okay now because what I saw in the clips playing back at me, I was like, oh, I do look good. So it's like you have
Yeah.
to train yourself to ignore the scale a little bit. And it is hard, even if you have experience with it, to get yourself back to that state where you're like, okay, the scale doesn't matter. I need to remember that.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because the scale, I've changed so much with the scale this season than any other season, including my off season this season, where I was just like, hey, I look better at this weight like than I did.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not worried about being at this current weight. I was like 117 at the top of my build. And my nutrition coach was like, he was thinking of my body composition from the prior year, or I didn't look so good at 115. And he was just a little worried. And I'm like, but let's pull up the data, let's pull up the photos. And like, it's
Hmm.
just such a better look. And like me now at 111-ish is crazy how much different,
The
right?
whole
And like,
different look.
so different, right? Like you can't have fullness with like if you for me like I can't just keep staying at the same weight and keeping myself at the same weight when every time I'm at that weight, bikini and fit model, they're like, you need to be fuller, and I'm like, what do you
Yeah.
mean? like, but I gotta get lean, and then they're like, yeah, that's too much. You went too far, and I'm like,
At some point, you
man.
lose the fullness, like that's a real thing. It's a concern I've had, with Tom, where I'm like, at what point do we cross that line where it's too far and then you can't get that fullness back? So,
I get in holes, so. Um, Someone had said, Nancy had said, sorry, my light died. I don't even know if I have a plug for this thing. But Nancy said that her glutes, she's struggling with her glutes. She's competing and she's 12 days out, and her glutes like just staying tight. Like she feels like they're saggy. That's a common issue for a lot of competitors because like you're flat. So just remember, once you get some more carbs in you, you get that water in you, those glutes will fill back up for the most part. And then when you pose, you can push them so that they are more upright. And that's why it's important not to drop your glutes in transitions and stuff. And like someone else had written to me today too, like she feels like insecure where she finds that like her skin is not so tight, like on her hamstrings into her glutes. And like sometimes it just takes time of putting more muscle on to get more muscle to push against the skin, because she was like, well, how come you're like that? I'm like, well, first of all, I gained my weight in my waist. My legs is not, Liz and I, we had talked about that. Like, that's not where I get my fat. Like, I really would like a PHAT butt, right? Like, cause that's fire. Like when you're not a competitor, that's fire. But like
yeah,
mine's muscle, like, cause like that's the only way I have the shape is muscle.
Mine's
I
the
don't
same way. It
have
has to
that.
be all muscle or there's just nothing there.
Yeah, yeah. Like
I
we
don't
have,
have any fat distribution to my glutes.
well,
yeah.
there's gives and takes to it because I think we've seen that with a lot of fit model competitors. You see their transformation photos, and a lot of them hold their fat in their waistline, but then when they get ready for a fit model, it looks great because they still have a softer waistline. Whereas, like, I'm on the other end of that where all my fat's in my butt. I mean, I sent you all those pictures, like all my fat's in my butt. So for me to get my glutes lean, it takes so much off my waistline. Like my waistline's pretty freaking shredded right now. So like I don't think that's the worst thing ever for fit model, honestly, because
Yeah,
then
it's
you
a give
keep
or
that
take.
nice soft front.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like say some people struggle where their delts get too hard because they are trying to get the fat off their glutes. Like
Hmm.
Liz, you've done a good job with your training, I think. And this is something for you guys to listen to, like pulling back sometimes on those delts because you're going to be harder. They're going to look bigger because of that leanness there. If you are somebody that holds fat in their glutes or the legs, something to consider to pull back on that delt training, right? Like
Yeah.
I, yeah,
We
I'm
go
not.
from week like 10 to about week 4. Like I really was very conservative and kind of like depleted them. Probably lost a little muscle in them, but definitely lost the fullness in them, which was a good thing to where now I can add it back in as my food's starting to go back up and I can like fill them back out. They're not just going to like wither away. But there was like a strategy there in how we did that because I do think I'd have like pretty
Yeah.
shredded delts right now if we didn't. So,
Yeah, yeah. So like if you kept training your delts the way you did and you're this lean because in order to get the backside in, and I know we're gonna talk about the seminar, so like I know like that is what you have to like that is what you gotta do for
mhm.
you. And that is what you need to do, right? Like that is your feedback, right? That's what you
Yeah.
just gotta go for, which you doubt you've accomplished, which I know you were like, I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm like, yes, you will, it's fine.
Yeah. Man, yeah.
115, 116. I'm like, I know it's right. It's gonna happen right there. And you're still
Yeah.
like a higher weight
Yeah.
competitor. So
Yeah.
like That's
One guy
good.
has dense bones, so I'm just gonna take that and run with
Yep.
it.
Yeah, you're
Yep.
I
dense
think so
bones.
too.
Yeah, and you're.
Yeah, these probably weigh an
That's
extra
two
pound or
pounds.
something. Yeah.
I think on average they're 2 pounds.
Okay, low key, I like my weight now because I actually like have even more now in my natural, and I'm like, oh,
I
it's
was
even
gonna say
okay.
your boobs look good in
They
that
still look nice and
latest
full.
posing clip you
I
showed
have the
us.
bombshell bra on from Victoria's Secret from 1999, I think. I don't
I
even
They were
know.
remember
so good.
those. We just aged ourselves.
I know I have one in high school. I have one.
Yeah, in high school. Yeah. I got my master's degree in 2008, you guys. Okay, like
I was
college.
6. So
Oh my God. I am your mother. Okay.
I do that to my husband. I remind him how much older he is than me because he's 7 years older. I'm like, I was this age when you were in high school.
they have to go to Emmanuel all the time. I'm like, I wasn't born yet.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that I'm so dead about this whole conversation. So, so you guys are like 3 weeks till peak week, not to like freak you out or anything.
Ah,
This is
no pressure.
No, it's when Swan said like 31 days or something. I was like, oh God. It's
I feel
like
better when it's at like in day form because it feels like there's more days than there are weeks because there are only 3 weeks until we
I
hit
feel the
peak
like a
week
opposite.
numbers figure.
versus 21 days.
That's
I can do a
awesome.
lot in 21 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm 1 month out, which is wild because I was like, oh, April 25th. It's like it's March 23rd. Like what? Like hold
I
on.
keep telling you to fly to Taiwan.
Well, and it's probably
I
the same
know.
for you, whereas like we're always 1 week ahead of you, so it doesn't feel as bad. Where that's how I feel with Emmanuel. Is like he's always having sorry, my dog's like losing her mind over here. He's always having a show in front of me. And so I don't really ever feel like, okay, I'm 4 weeks out now, it's crunch time because his stuff is still ahead of me. So I
Yeah.
think that once it's actually just my show going on, I'll be like from
That's
It's
how
peak
I'll
to
feel when
something
you
to
guys
end.
think
are done
about.
Wasatch. I'll be like, okay, guys, bye.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm really excited for you guys. I told my husband that like yesterday. I was like, I can't wait to just like lay in bed and just watch my friends.
And we get to turn around and do it to you
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
week after.
you'll be like, good job, Britt. I'll be like, I'm done.
In the comments.
Yeah, I'm so scared. So let's talk about Carolina Pro Seminars since that was the first event we went to. That was March 14th, which is wild. Like we're like 10 days past that pretty much tomorrow. But Liz, what did you like about the Carolina Pro Seminar?
I thought it was great. I thought he had a great turnout. He had a really nice amount of pros in each division too. So I feel like everyone could kind of find someone that they looked like or related to. Especially when it came to like when we broke out in the posing sessions, everyone could kind of find where they vibe. I mean, Mo was there, which is amazing. If you can get feedback from Mo, she's brutally honest.
Yeah.
She's going to tell you exactly how it is, exactly what you need to work on. Even if you're like, I want to do this show, she probably will tell you, hey, no, you're not ready, but it's what you need to hear. So I thought it was great. We had a great fit model turnout. There was so many fit model girls, and which is nice because sometimes I went to some of the earlier seminars and we didn't have as many fit model girls, but I feel like lately the fit model have been showing out. Um, what else am I
Yeah, it looks
missing?
stacked.
Yeah. So Cassie's here right now in the chat. She was there. Andrea was there. Kelly was there.
Yeah, she's doing
And
Wasatch too.
Hmm.
yes. And was it just us? Yeah, and us too,
Think
right?
so. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was cool. And it was nice for us to all get on stage together. It's so cool how we all do a front post differently, which is always neat. And actually, Mo did say that, and that's cool. She's like, "That's great." She doesn't. They don't expect us to all do the same front pose. So she did kind of reinforce that, and she was kind of just going over the posing for like we were the demonstrators.
Hmm.
So she was talking about it a lot, and Mo is definitely honest. So we helped out with posing with the girlies, and then we snuck over to Mo, and I mean, we bothered the judges for a while. We're like, can we please get
Yeah.
me?
We kind of held Mo hostage, actually, and we're like,
That's
let's
good
put
though.
our
You
suits
have
on.
to.
Yeah, they were like trying to shut it down, and we're like, we need feedback. So like, we're like
You're not
dragged
leaving
ourselves.
yet.
And we okay, like I low key, I hated that light. Okay, so I was
It
pale.
was
I
too
feel like
bright.
you
It
had like
wasn't
a
Is it
enough.
straight
the
skin.
stage lighting that they had you
It
under?
was
Or
just like a floodlight. It was just like
It was
oh,
like
like
my camera didn't even
it's
pick
like
up
that
like
like cold
definition
blue
on my
cast on
body.
you. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's not cute.
No,
we
it
should
was a
You
post
look
front
all my
good
post
though.
page.
situation.
Like on all the stories, it looked good from what I was seeing from far away while I was having
On
FOMO.
the stage it was okay. It was where we
Yeah.
went to get judges feedback
Oh,
from
okay.
that
Yeah.
it was like it was just way too, even me with a spray tan was just like so washed out. In my video I look like a ghost. Like until Brittany actually stands in front of the light, and then I actually have a good shot there because it's
Oh
not
yeah,
like
I was like
light
moving
on me.
stuff around, and I was like, oh no, I'm blocking her light, and I'm like,
It was
oh.
actually way better. It was way better than the time that you were standing there.
So like I feel like the spotlight. Okay, so have you guys ever been to a hotel and like the lighting was way different than like
Yeah.
whatever lighting you were at, and then all of a sudden you get in this depressive feel and you're like, I look like crud. Like I look
Yeah, every weekend
awful.
last month. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that floodlight did that to me. I was like, this is horrendous. I'm like, so I'm standing in front of a floodlight, pale. Okay, like, and then like my suit was way too big. My suit is way too big, you guys. Like, this is my suit from last season, and it is massive on me. Okay, like I had it fully pulled, and it's just baggy, and I should just wear my Brazilian. I was just so upset.
For
And
feedback.
but I just looked at my video and I'm like, this is so ugly. It was just so, it was a bad angle. Like I was just not happy. And then I got feedback there. Where I was talking to Mo and she's like, you got to work on this back pose. Like it's just, you're closing yourself off. You either you need to grow your back out and you need to grow your glutes. I'm like, okay, wait, I need to fix this back pose because I don't feel like I like in that behind in my back or my
Yeah.
glutes. And I'm like, there's this
No.
posing issue. But I'm a type A personality, and once I hear something, I need to fix it. And I will, and I know you're like this too, both of you guys, but I'm like, I will go and fix this. So I'm in my field. I'm already sore, feel like crud, right? Like I'm already achy. And I'm like, this is awful. And I gotta go home and like work on this till I go back to another seminar with Mo there again. I don't want to show up with the same pose and she's like, what am I looking at? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was kind of Debbie Downer, and I'm like, okay, I got to figure this back pose out because there's no way. Like, the front is good, and then I turn around and she's like, yeah. I was like,
And
oh,
you can tell him to Emmanuel's compliment to you.
okay, yeah. So okay, so we're on stage and we get off, and Emmanuel. So I just meet Emmanuel, right? Like we're cool, like we're automatically cool because I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I know him already.
You
I'm
had
like,
like secondary conversations through me too, you know.
It's like our
yeah,
guest
yeah. So I'm like,
podcast
what's up?
host.
He's like, what's up, B? So he's like, B's got a real good front pose. And then he goes, then you guys turn around and then he's like talking about it. And I'm like, oh, wait,
Trails off.
wait, what happened to my back pose?
That's how Emmanuel gives feedback, by the way.
He's like Mo.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I must not look good for the back. And honestly, when I look at my universe pictures, same mine, right? Like I'm like, dang, I look pretty good even with my injury, and I was like a little flat. I'm like, I look good in the front. What the heck happens in the back? I'm like, I know I'm not that bad in the back. So like, I'm like, okay, there's got to be some like disconnect here. So I worked on it. I worked on it, but
It's
I was
so good
very,
now.
I literally like almost quit. Like I was like, why am I even doing this? Like I was all in my feels. And then I'm like, I'm canceling live chat. You're sick. I'm miserable. My daughter's
Wait,
got
but I think we need to
bronchitis.
stay off for the week.
Yeah. We
I'm
all
like,
just made the decision to not do
we're
Well,
this last
squatting
week.
like the woods. And
yeah.
my daughter's got bronchitis. So
Well, and
We all
I
have
had
something going
feedback on
on.
posing too that kind of threw me because we talked about my posing feedback from Southern Muscle Guide seminar where every judge across the board was like, yep, pull that shoulder back. And I was like, okay, slay. I
yeah.
mastered the front pose with the shoulder back. And then I see Mo and Brittany Hamilton and they're like, give me that shoulder. Like if they're doing this
No.
that I do to a manual to bring that shoulder forward. And so I was like, oh, okay. So then I had to relearn how to do this front pose again,
Yeah.
and that's why you just have to, and I fought it too. I fought the feedback at first. I'm not going to lie to y'all.
Yeah.
Just because you're a pro doesn't mean that you're somehow immune to being able to like
Yeah.
separate things sometimes. I did fight it a little bit and Brittany Hamilton was very patient with me as we went back and forth about it. But I sure did come home on Monday and I was like, okay, we're going to figure this out right now. And Emmanuel sat in here with me until we finally like hit it. I sent Brittany the video. She was like, yep, that's it. And I was like, okay. And I sent y'all the video. You're like, I like it. I'm like, okay, now I can play with it. But you just have to be open because as you lean down too, your
Yeah.
physique looks
Yep.
different and
It
you
does.
might need to accommodate more or less, So my shoulders have came down since that seminar. I haven't trained my upper body.
In your
So
back. Yeah. Like
yeah,
now you're probably not as wide. So it makes
no.
sense.
So
It's
now
like
I
your
can tell
balance
this straight.
shifts.
Yeah, and even it's funny too because even Jane messaged me and she didn't know I had gotten this feedback, but she was like, I don't know if you got this feedback yet, but I do think that you could bring your shoulder more forward, which that's like the cool part about Fit Model is like
Yeah.
we're competing against each other, but she's like, I think this could make you better, you know.
Yeah.
So that's like our cool little community that we have, but. I did have to take a second to kind of digest that feedback. And then even like we put stills side by side and Brittany asked some people which one they liked and I asked other people. And so we figured it out, but you just kind of have to have an open mind going into these things. When you ask for feedback, you got to have an open mind to actually be able to then absorb that and apply it and not let your ego get in the way of, oh, I
For
mastered this front
sure.
pose. It looks so good, you know, like got to leave that out of you. So
Yeah, and it's hard because it hits your ego, but it's so like, I know we teach posing, right? And like I get like a lot of referrals from like even like, people that matter and they're like, hey, go see Brittany, right? But then I get my feels, I'm like, well, how come I'm not doing my back pose right? Well, I can't see myself. Okay. I don't have mirrors behind me.
yourself.
It's so hard to pose yourself because you have to like step back and like visually like disconnect from yourself, and like the back pose though is like you can't see it, so I'm like, I don't know, this feels good, and then I'm like look like I'm too tight, you know what I mean?
Well, and
um
when you adjust that, it's hard because it's like, okay, even all the little tiny movements that you make, you have to then set up the phone, take the picture, and then go back and remember how to adjust it. It's hard. It's very difficult. The front pose we can
Definitely.
eyeball, but I
yeah,
think
so like the front pose I'm like, okay, and then like the back pose I'm like, oh no, okay, I see what Emmanuel's saying, and I was like laughing because I took it to heart, like not in a bad way, like I don't take things, I love feedback, but like of course it stings a little bit because you're like, oh gosh, I'm not good enough. That's kind of where your mind goes. I'm
Yeah,
just
and
not
you can't
good.
help that, like
you're
being
human.
told something you need to improve on with your physique. There's going to be emotions involved with that, and that's totally okay.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it sounded like it was muscular, it was structure,
Oh,
right?
that's the worst when you're like, do I have enough muscle
Because
after spending
what
all
can
this
you do
time
about that?
posing? Yeah.
Right. So like I'm like, oh God, I need a wider back and more glutes. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Okay, Britt, like your
But
back when you so
Which
then
I told
Swan
you,
and I
I
are
was like,
messaging
the
each other.
muscle's there in the front
Yeah.
pose. So I think it's just posing. I don't think there's anything you need to work with
No, no. So
that
like
much on
Swan and
muscle.
yeah, so Swan and I were at the women's workshop and we're posing and I'm like, okay, we have lat spreads. Like I have lat spread pictures with Swan. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't have a small back. Like I'm just
no.
not presenting it. I'm like, this is
Hmm.
BS. I'm like, okay, so that's when I went back in the lab and like I'm like, let's work on this pose. And I worked on it until I got to Tampa. And then Tampa rolls around and I start with like Tim Gardner and I was like a little slouchy because it was 8 at night and I'm like, I just ate all day and I'm like, feel a little, so I don't know if you guys notice too, like if you want to hide your waist, you kind of dip it back a little further. Just so
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? He's like, why are you slumping? I'm like, I don't know. So I refixed it, did my standard pose. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like in my mind right now at 8 p.m. at night. And he's like, okay, this is good. And then I went to David, and David's very honest. And he was like, yeah, you got to open up your back. He's like, I don't know what you're doing. Why are you like closing your back off? I'm like, oh, this is dreaded. I thought I fixed it a little bit. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I go over to Mo again. I'm like, oh, here we go. She's gonna look at my back and be like, why are you looking? Why am I looking at you again? So thankfully, another pro was there, a men's physique pro, and he goes B. I'm like, oh no. He's like, just stand there. And I'm like, just stand there.
That's all I do. I put my hands down where they fall.
That's it. So I did it. She goes, that's it. And I'm like, Mo said that's it. I'm like, oh
Just
my
stand there.
gosh.
When she gives you that compliment, you have to take it and run with it, man.
Oh, I did. So we did 15 rounds of comparisons and she never corrected it. I'm like, oh, I guess that's it. But
That was
now
the
he's been like,
solution to stand there, not do anything with your
Yeah.
arms.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just standing there, you guys, like nothing crazy. I was just pushing too much and doing too much. So I did the 15 minutes of rounds and then she looks at me, she goes, this is the best your core's ever looked. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm happy now.
That's a win.
I'm
Good
out of
job
my
with
depression.
that compliment.
Yeah, yeah. She's like, and she does not play with that core control stuff, man, you guys. And I'm next to Vanessa. Vanessa, if you're listening, girl, she's got the smallest waist of anybody I've ever seen in my life. It's like this. And I think it was my inspo because I'm like, I better hold this waist in if I'm next to that girl right now because her waist is like this. I
Yeah.
am
Yeah.
not built like that at all. And then I was laughing because I went to the last judge after Mo saw me and all that. And I did my routine with my new back pose. He's like, that's great. And I was like, oh. I was like, thank God. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I was doing an awful back pose. He's like, well, what were you doing? And I'm like, no, I don't want to show you. He's like, no,
Don't
show
worry
me.
about that.
Yeah. He's like, show me. He goes,
That's so
oh
funny.
God. He's like, that's like a scarecrow. I'm like, oh my.
He's like a scarecrow.
Honestly, I could understand, yeah. But it's like it's just what you did for so long, like we didn't really notice it, but then once you fix it, it's like, oh, okay, I
Yeah,
see.
everyone's like, what did you do to your glutes? I'm just standing there now.
Yeah,
Okay.
pro flex.
But it's
Yeah.
funny because with Fit Model, everybody struggles with that front pose, and it's like we have the opposite problem. Like, because I've been working on my back pose too, because I've been overthinking. Like, where do I put my hands? What do I do with my back? Like, what am I doing wrong here? And it's just stand there. Apparently, it's the solution.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because Swan, it's so funny because Swan was like messaging me back but it was before Tampa seminar because I was doing
Was
cardio.
it? Yeah.
And she's like, I'm working on my back post. So we're sending back post pictures. We're like, I don't know. I think that looks better. We're like just
Well, my
messaging
problem is
pictures.
like my back pose for my first show. I was looking at all the pictures because I was cleaning out my phone when we were driving to Tennessee, and I was like, wait a minute, my back pose for my first show looks better than it does now. What am I doing different?
Yes.
So I think back then I was just standing there because I didn't know what I was doing.
Me too. So like when I was a little fuller, when they said I could be a little leaner, but it was my waist in the front.
Mhm.
Remember we had talked about that. My back pose, I'm kind of like, oh, glutes look kind of good right there, and I was heavier, and I was standing there,
because
and
if
then
you overpose them, they flatten out. Like you lose
yeah,
that projection. So
yeah. So like I kind of like got my feels because I felt like everyone else was like really pushing in their pose. So like I was like, well, I think I need to push in my pose. Don't do it. Don't overdo anything because then that looks like don't over pelvic tilt in your front. Don't over push in your back because ooh,
And
it
then you
wasn't
also
as
have
good
to
as my
think
first one.
about how when you're on stage, especially at a pro show, you're going to have to hold that for much longer, especially with the number of competitors at shows.
Oh,
yeah,
So you have to be able to hold it too.
so I was standing next to another pro that did Japan at the in the comparisons because it was the men's physique guy's client, and he's like, "We're gonna do rounds," and I'm like, "Oh God!" And then I'll be standing there, and they're correcting everyone around me, right? So I was like chit chatting or with her while I'm holding my glutes where they need to be, and I was like, girl, did you stand this long in Japan? She goes, oh yeah, it was awful. And I was like, my butt is on fire standing here and not doing anything like with my upper body. I'm like, this is awful. I was like, I better
I heard
practice.
some really good posing conditioning advice. I think it was on Corey Linder and Phoebe's podcast where they said set up your phone and set up a time lapse and go and hold your pose. And that way you can see how you fidget and lose it because then, we get tired, we start overcompensating in certain areas and that becomes a whole thing. So put a time lapse. I'm like, that's really smart. That's a very good way to like gauge it because you're going to be standing there ideally for 5 minutes holding that pose.
Yeah,
So
we are gonna stand there that long. It literally felt forever, and I'm like, I have never done this, and I'm like, okay, I got like 4 weeks till peak week, so I better start practicing. I'll do it in a couple days.
Endurance.
Yeah, it looks like you guys better do it now because you guys are
yeah.
4 weeks out.
Yeah.
Someone asked us what we thought about waist trainers, which Liz, perfect person.
Obviously, I'm a huge proponent of one. I wear one all the time. And I wear it for multiple reasons too. One, I have more developed abs and obliques. So if they
Yeah,
atrophy, I'm not mad at it at all. And that's just from I was a cheerleader for years and years. And so I had a very developed core from that. I don't train for it anymore. But then also I wear it to have like compression on my waist because I have scoliosis. So it keeps everything nice and tight. And I wear it in place of a belt. The waist trainer that Brittany just got has like a
I know. I was
belt on
gonna go get it.
top.
Hold on.
Yeah. And so it's like an added level of compression to kind of hold in the right places. But I also think it's important that you do your core work too. You can't just depend on that,
Yeah.
for core stability or brace against it. You still have to internally brace and just use that as something to make sure that your posture is right and everything while you're training. I find it very useful. I'm not gonna like sell people on it, because everyone has their opinions on waist trainers. That's why I use it.
Yeah, and honestly, I've used this brand that Liz works with, and I just never went that route. Like, I never became an ambassador or anything. So I'm like, Liz, I use your code.
Yeah.
So, Squeeze Me Skinny. I have like 8. Okay, like I like Squeeze Me Skinny. They're based in Florida, so I get that stuff in a day, which is great. But
I'm about to
I
get
just got
one
this.
using Liz's code
Yeah,
soon.
Liz H.
Save.
So this is the triple compression. I literally got it in the mail today and I already had it on for 2.5 hours. I just like put it on. I'm like, why am I doing this on a high carb day? Like my stomach feels blown out.
What size did you get?
Extra small,
Extra small?
which
Okay.
is 23 inches is the smallest.
Yes, I wear a 2XS. Um, but the only thing that sucks about that is that we got to break them in the beginning. That part is a
Yeah.
little rough,
Yeah.
but once it
So
gets to that,
I got the XS, and okay, so this is the new triple one, which I love. So I'm going to show you parts of it. So this is the corset part, which is normal for your waist trainer, but then it's got a zipper. Okay, so then you zip it on top of it. Okay, but you're not done yet. Okay, so that's two parts. Then you get this other belt. You
Belt.
guys, you guys, it
That's
doesn't play.
extreme.
it's literally like
I think it
Yeah.
low key. It's actually really pretty. My daughter goes, "Oh, a
It looks
princess!" She saw me
cute.
take it off, and I was like, "Yeah, it's a princess."
and that one's
I
really
like
good for weightlifting too. It has all the right compressions for that.
I like waist trainers, especially during cardio. I like using them for that because it helps you control your breath to where you're using diaphragmatic breathing instead of breathing through your stomach because you have to use that on stage for the core control so you're not, got
Good
your
point.
belly gut going on.
Yeah, I like this. I really like this new one. I'm not gonna lie, and it's actually like it feels different than than my other one.
Is it the
Less
same
rubbery.
neoprene or is it a different material?
It feels like my others feel more like rubber.
Yeah.
It's different from the neoprene. The one I wear most of the time is the neoprene one, which I really like, but that one's kind of soft on the inside.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I've literally nothing left on my core, and so I need a real like cushion.
Yeah, because I get rashes on my waist, so I'll
Mhm.
wear shirts sometimes. So I actually do extra small all the time because I'll wear like an undershirt. So extra small works for me because I think I'm making it tighter. And I'll wear shirt, and that works out well. But honestly, I think because I'm 4 weeks out, I'm probably just gonna wear this one a lot more. And I love it. I like this one a lot, so I'm happy with it. I just got my husband this other one, the neoprene Velcro
That's why I
one.
got a manual. Yeah, and I got him like a sweat wrap and stuff to put on
Yeah,
top.
because his coach recommended it for him, and he's a bodybuilder. So, but yes, definitely don't negate the core work, because that I was just telling the posing client. I don't know if she's still on here, but we did a posing call today, and I was talking about waist control, and I'm like, there's so many exercises you can do to make you naturally have a corset. So, like, my waist looks visually smaller than it does now than at Junior USA when I was 6 pounds smaller. My waist is so much tighter, like the lower abdomen up into the rib cage, the serratus, because I've been doing that core work. And now I don't have to pull down so hard. The whole reason why I had pulled down so hard last season is my waist was still wide or didn't have enough taper. And then if your back isn't wide enough, we always talk about that. If your back's not wide enough, you don't have that taper, so then you have to whittle your waist in. But if you have a
Hmm.
wider space, and a wider quad with glutes, but not overdeveloped, then you have more of a hourglassy, or they're not really calling it hourglass because it's fit model, but like more of a X shape space
That's what I
top
tell
one.
girls too. Like once that waistline comes in and fit model, life gets a lot easier. Like because
Yes.
then posing is easier. You're not manipulating
Yeah.
stuff. Everything else looks how it needs to look.
Yeah, and your posing should match your waistline. So if you have a little tiny, tiny waist, you could actually be very like in line with your feet. But if you don't, you got to stagger your feet because you've got to visually make it look like a difference. So just keep that in mind.
Hmm.
I think we get a couple minutes to at least address like one topic. um, what about how to handle losing? I think that would be a good one for today because it's going to happen, especially as we're going into these pro shows. If you're a pro listening, or the amateur shows are starting to rev up finally, so that's exciting. How to handle losing. So, of course, we all do it to win, right? I mean, come on. Okay, like sure, better yourself and stuff like that. Cool. You should enjoy the journey and all that. But like at the end of the day, everybody likes to win. I mean, no one's competitive and wants to lose, I think, right? You need to have that drive and that desire to win. So what do you guys think are some good tips to give someone, um, say they expect to be, say they're an amateur. Let's start with amateur.
Yeah.
Say they expect to be top three in a competition, and there's like 8 to 10 girls there, and they're not in that top three. What would you suggest to them to handle that loss?
I think the main thing from the mental side is not treat it as a loss, but just an experience to make you better at winning later on. Because when you get to the higher levels, the chances of you losing get higher.
Hmm.
So if you get used to losing at the amateur level, that will make you better at losing at the pro level. And then also eventually, if you deliver on the feedback that you get, that makes you more able to win better. So it's just treat it more as an experience versus something that is a negative to your physique or your opinion about yourself. I think that's the main thing. Just make sure you treat it objectively and not internalize it. Because
Yeah.
everybody's going to lose eventually. Nobody just wins all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any tips? Any tips, Liz, for that?
I mean, it's like kind of what you're saying. You have to separate the two, and you have to remember you gain a lot more from losing than you do from winning. You know, you walk away, you won, you look great. Okay, now what? You know what I mean? Where when you lose, I mean, and it also depends too. Like, so personally, I've set myself up to lose in competitive lineups. Like, I don't want to just win the easiest lineup because you learn nothing from that. You have,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that. I won the overall at Memphis against two people. I surprised I even
It's
didn't
not
know at that
satisfying
point.
because, like, my,
It felt like nothing, you
yeah,
know?
because you're like, I won, but it doesn't feel like I won because there was only like for my first overall win, I was the only one in my class for my high class. And I was like, oh, this is like my first class win ever. And I was the only one in it. So I just won by default. And that's not a nice feeling.
It
So when I
feels
won the
very
overall
like,
for that show, I was like, okay, I feel a little bit better now.
yeah, it feels very like, okay, well, you know, honestly, it kind of feels like the hard work was for nothing because you didn't really
Yeah.
see and get any data from that. You know, I'm not going to know how good I am or how good I'm not until I'm in a good lineup. You know, that's why I'm not running from any of the small shows or any of the big shows. You know, like, yeah, let's go watch, let's see how we stack up. Let's see where things are because that's where I'm actually going to get data to be able to then take that and apply it and better myself. That's why we're in this sport. You're not even in fit model, it's easy and whatever. You're never perfect. There's never nothing to work on. There's always something. And I guarantee if you just go around and ask enough judges, they're going to give you something to work on, you know? So you want to chase that, like that pressure and that resistance, because that's where you're actually going to grow. You get nothing from these, you know, smaller shows or smaller lineups, whatever, where, you know, you're not getting enough valuable feedback and data to then base stuff off of. You have to remind yourself why you do it and why we don't do this because it's easy. We do this because we like the challenge and the constant room for evolution, you know? So just kind of flip that mindset and don't attach a placing to anything, you know? And it's so corny to hear that, like, it's me versus me, whatever, but like it is, you know, unfortunately it is you versus you in this sport. And like if you are just constantly chasing improvement and a better look every single time, then you're going to be way happier than constantly just chasing a first place because like you can win and look worse, you know, like there that is a thing. So as long as you're
Yeah.
just chasing improvement and comparing this physique from your last one and how you're constantly getting better and better, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. I've competed in different federations, so I was at a pro level before, and oh, believe me, you get humbled real quick because then everyone looks good, and you're like, oh, so like I'm already prepared, to lose. And we had talked about that with Emily, where Emily kind of was like prepping her brain to not win, and I have like that back preparation, you know, to not win because I've been in that position where I've gotten, even second to you or, even second in masters at universe, and I got those first before I got my pro card, right? And I'm like, oh, second. I'm like, oh my God, no, second again. And like you just prep yourself. So then by the time I actually got my first place, the third time I got on stage, I was like, oh. And I was like, oh, I was like kind of like washed out of emotion because I was like, oh, I was preparing to lose and get second. Well, not,
Yeah.
I still would have got a pro card, but you know what I'm saying. So just kind of preparing your mindset too. But like you should have both mindsets. You should have a mindset where you're visualizing that win and then also just like have that inner strength. So you're not a poor sports too, like on stage. Like it's really important to kind of
It's so hard to watch, of course.
yeah, so just like be okay with like not winning and get your feedback. But that's why I like going to seminars and stuff because I like feedback as much as it hurts. I'm like I like to hear the feedback. I'm like, what can I do better? Like that's the process I enjoy. And then the pro level is going to be even crazier because everybody looks good. Like we know all the girlies. If you guys are listening, y'all look good. We're all gonna just go up there, bring our best, because that's all you can do. You have no control of what someone else is gonna bring.
Hmm.
So just be prepared. Like it's another level now. Like, I don't want to say we're starting at bottom, like like a lot of times people say that for bikini, which makes sense, right? Like at amateur, you're starting at the bottom because so many bikini competitors have built over the years, and they're at like they've been doing it for like 8 years or 10 years or whatever, and they're like literally at the top,
It's already
right?
top dogs in the game. Yeah.
We're all starting in the same level,
Well, we
right?
don't know
Just
what level we're at going into
we're
it.
all
Gotta figure it
we're all,
out.
Gonna figure
yeah,
out
we're
what
all
tier we fit into this
It's like,
year.
what fish are we in the sea?
yeah,
Yeah.
we don't
Are we
know,
the
right?
bottom
We're all like
feeders or like the sharks?
yeah, we're all like here, right? So
Yeah.
we're all in the same level. I mean, a few of us have competed with each other, so like there's somewhat of a basis, but then again, it doesn't mean someone's not unbeatable, right? So like someone that's beaten me might not beat me again, or someone that's beaten you might not
Yeah.
beat you again. And I've never won an overall, you guys. I've never won an overall. I've always missed it. And I'm okay with that because eventually I'm hoping to win a pro show, and that's going to be the best overall,
It's gonna be
right?
your
Like
first overall.
right? And then doesn't mean anything like doesn't mean you can't go pro without winning overall clearly.
And
Um
I think we've all had instances too where we've gone to shows and somebody's beaten us and then we've turned around and beaten them at other shows in the future. So it's anybody's game, just depending on who looks good and who delivers on the feedback that you get.
yeah, and a lot of them that have won overalls haven't gone pro yet. So
Hmm.
don't,
Yeah.
I mean it just it doesn't there's no like yes, this is what's going to happen. Like no one knows and then
Anyone's day. It's
it
anyone's
is
day on the day. That's how bodybuilding is. You can't go into it thinking like there's already stats and this person's already ahead of me because it just depends on
yeah.
who else is in that lineup with y'all, on who's in the judging panel. There's so many factors.
Yeah, in the judging panel, you're going to get feedback from different judges. And the amateur judges versus the pro league judges, and the pro league judges do try to talk with each other. Like I know a lot of the female pro league judges talk amongst each other, trying to decide that criteria for fit model and make sure they're all on the same page. So like, you're going to get feedback from like maybe someone that's been more talking about it versus someone that hasn't, and just take that with grain of salt and maybe ask some other judges some feedback that, maybe a little bit more focused on the division and go from there. So like, Larissa just said some might find some things look good. Different views on what looks good or better. You just
Yeah.
never know. And that's the nature of the game that happens in bikini too. So you just go with it and just keep showing up, right? Because every judge is going to like something different. And all you can do is apply yourself to be better. So speaking of, Taiwan is next. So, Swan, you got some details about Taiwan?
Yeah, Taiwan is happening April 5th. So we're going to see a lot of the competitors, or I don't know a lot, like I know of three at least that have confirmed on Instagram that they're doing Taiwan, that have done Japan. So I know Myra, who got fourth place, is doing it, Myra Galoso. And then the competitor, I can't remember her name, is it Hyejin? The one that got third place, she's doing it as well. So they were pretty closely ranked to each
That'll be
other.
a
So
good
that'll
battle.
be
A
an
rematch.
exciting rematch. Yeah. And then our fan favorite, Sajin, the blonde competitor with the pink suit. We all liked
Oh,
her.
she's doing it.
She's doing it, I
Yay!
think. So
Okay. I'll be excited to see her
yeah.
with
So I know
We're
her
gonna find out
feedback
the
was
details.
to bring down the shoulders, right?
Yeah.
In
It was
Japan.
opposing
she's
issues, Sandy
opposing.
said.
Yeah. That and the
Yeah.
suits are, I think if she changed those two things,
Yeah,
She's
she's
got a
got a good
beautiful
look.
shape to her. We all like her look. So
Yeah, we were like, wait,
excited.
what?
yeah, we were like, wait,
We were like, I
I'm
think
pretty
she
sure she
got
was number
missed.
8, and I remember her because I was like, no, wait, put her like, why is she, But obviously, I understand now. But
Someone said, how do you feel confident in your physique when fit model is so new? I've seen people win competitions who have larger muscles and other girls who have softer look. What do you guys take? So actually this question, I'm glad you asked that. This question was, oh, I guess I should talk about the videos from the seminar. So this question was asked actually at the Tampa seminar. So I do have a judge's response to that. Because someone literally said, I've seen girls, win with like bigger delts and whatever. And the judge said, at the end of the day, it's still the same criteria. It's who showed up. And they can only judge what bodies are on stage. But the criteria is still written on NPC News Online. It's less muscle than bikini. If you put me and the other pros, especially Vanessa, who is there at the Tampa seminar, and you put us there, you could see big difference in our physiques compared to maybe somebody that's about to do bikini, even amateur. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, look at their shoulders and arms. I'm like, oh wow, I'm like very small. There
Like
was
we
a
think we're
big,
big until we get next to a bikini
Yeah.
competitor and we're like, no, never mind, never mind.
I
yeah.
actually don't have delts at all. So
Yeah, so like it was a big difference. There's just a difference. So you can't, you don't know who's going to show up, and they said they can only judge what is there. And so if you're seeing someone with more muscle winning, take that with a grain of salt. You have to look at the rest of the lineup. Softer. Okay, so in regards to softer conditioning for a fit model is one of the biggest things that they're looking at. The overall winners all had similar conditioning last year, and they have talked about this, where that's actually mostly if you took all of the open winners, including myself when I was in the open lineup, I was way too hard, you guys. If I showed up with that conditioning into a pro show, I'd get third call outs like at Japan. If I showed up at Japan with what I looked like when I got my pro card at Universe, it was too conditioned for me. It's just too hard. You could see like lines in my delts. You could see like lines in my into my glutes, and not that much, but you know what I'm saying, like it was just too much. But all the girls that won overall, like including the girl that won overall for Universe, she had the right conditioning. So that's just something to think about. So softer is, I don't want to say softer, I would just say it's less hard, and it's similar to conditioning to what I have right now. That's what they really want, because they said that they're like, they literally said you don't have much to pull from, like just stay here, because they don't want. So if you look at my physique right now, that's similar conditioning to what they want. They don't want hard, dense conditioning. Emily is a perfect example because she won a pro card. So like I won the pro show. So look at Emily. That's good conditioning for her, where you don't see a lot, you don't see striations. It's fullness, it's shape. That's what they want.
well,
Swan is fantastic for that. She competes lighter than I do, but she doesn't look over conditioned. So I think that's a good example, right, Swan? Like how you have
Yeah,
like
it's
this.
like dependent on a lot of things, like how you carry muscle, what density you have, how you carry fat, and then also your skin thickness plays a part into it too. So that's another thing to consider.
Yeah, I think your skin thickness, because of your nationality. Um,
Yeah, so like
I
Asian competitors
yeah,
have just thicker skin just genetically, so that's why we
like
have to lean out a
Maureen,
bit
even though she's
more. Marie,
bikini.
yeah.
She's bikini, but she just has like this thicker skin. So like even her super lean. By the way, I was looking at Maureen's video again last night. I'm like, there's no way she's even close to fit model. Like everyone was talking about that, but she has nice conditioning because of her skin.
she just looks
Um,
cool. That's all that is. Her
yeah, I'm like,
conditioning level was amazing for fit model for sure, but it's like way too much muscle.
And that's
yeah,
always been my problem with bikini is no matter how lean I get, like there's just no lines. There's not a lot of definition there just because of my skin thickness.
Well,
And
and
then
yeah,
I
fit
think
model's a
that
better fit.
with like feeling confident in that and like you got to just go get your feedback. Like at some point, you
Hmm.
kind of just have to jump off the porch and get on stage and see where you stack up, and then you have something to work with and you have a baseline because how that look translates on each person is going to be very different.
Yeah.
Like for me to get the fit model look, it might be very different from somebody else. And so, like, yeah, I felt confident in my look once I started getting feedback that, hey, you're almost there. You're right there. Like at the Carolina seminar, it was, hey, just
yeah,
tighten up a little bit. And we
yeah,
tightened up a little bit. So I'm like, now I know I'm right there.
yes,
So
yeah.
it's just go get that feedback, whatever that looks like, whether that means getting on a regional stage or getting in front of people at a seminar. You just have to find out what that means for you because I can't go based off like Brittany or Swan. Like I can't go based off what y'all's feedback is or what it takes for y'all
No.
to get the fit model look because it won't apply to me.
No,
So
not at all. And nobody should go off my feedback or Swan's feedback, because mine, I do have like, I have older, I do have master's like level kind of more density. So when I get leaner, then you could see all the lines and stuff. But now I have a little bit of body fat over my muscle. Now I'm like, I keep messaging them like, I'm full as a house. Like I've never looked this full in my life. It's kind of weird. Like,
it looks
but it
great.
looks good, right? And looks healthy, and it looks like shiny, glowy, whatever. And that's what they want. They want glow, they want
Right.
health, but like that's going to look different on everyone because Swan does have to pull down, and I pulled down the similar weight, but I look hard as nails while pulled down. And Swan still like I still look at your Olympia pictures because I know we've kind of gone back and forth, but I'm like, I don't know, I still like that look
I
because you
love
have
that
like
look.
this like superwoman taper. Like it was just a really good look for you. Like you weren't hard.
Yeah, I
Um,
have to lean out really, really hard and fill out really hard too to get that look. So it's just a different approach for everybody. And peaking is going to be
yeah.
really important to nail that look too.
And try not to get wrapped up in everyone's weight because there's
Mm.
girls that are competing in the 90s at pro level. They're like below, they're like 5'1", right, and they're in their 90s in their weight to get their pro card. At least we know that. So try not to get wrapped up in the weight because everyone looks different at a certain weight. Like Swan was 10, you got down to 102, I think, Olympia.
Yeah.
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 And then me at 104, I looked awful. Like, and then I filled out at 106, and they're like, I was too lean. Like, it's just not a good look for me. And like, I just look better now, and I'm okay with it. And if they tell me I'm a little like heavy, that's fine. I can come down from that, but I don't think they will. But
Well, and then
um,
I'm 10 pounds above that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's like it just you can't base it off anything else.
But
There's
then
so many factors.
You beat me, and you were 120.
122.
122 and I was 106, but like they're like you need to be fuller. So I'm like, well, how am I going to be fuller if I'm like keeping at this low weight all the time? You know what I mean? Like even then Tyler was just like fuller legs for me. And I'm like, well, yeah. And I'm like, like we were like 15 pounds difference and I was in the
Yeah.
wrong height class, but like, I was like,
I'm like, I might
so
have been in the wrong height class. I might have needed to be C class,
This is
truthfully.
that headband.
Yeah.
like just take everything with a grain of salt what everyone's getting for feedback because some people are tighter in the glutes, some people are not, some people need to be tighter in the waist, some people don't, some people need.
What they like on each person can vary too. Some people they like harder. And that's not the word I would like to use in fit model, but you know what I mean? To have that same look, some people do have to pull down more. It varies so
Yeah, it's
much.
person
You have to have a
dependent.
good coach. You need to find a good coach with a good eye. That's what it comes down to.
And be able to ask for feedback and like actually ask the right questions for that feedback to get
Hmm.
actual answer because I will sit there and I will change my question and how I asked it like 3 times just to get the answer. Maybe that's kind of
It's
like
like you
AI.
have
You
to
ask AI
interrogate
like six
them.
ways to get your answer.
You have to interrogate the judges sometimes because they'll give you feedback and you'll be like, what does this mean? So go ahead and ask the follow up questions to kind of elaborate on what they're meaning when they tell you fuller, more muscle, more conditioning. Like, what exactly do you mean
Confirm.
when you say that? Yeah.
And that's what I did this weekend. I'm like, okay, so I'm competing in 5 weeks. My conditioning right now, because I know this is my biggest issue, is always by like finding that balance. And I'm like, do I need to be a little tighter or and then Tim Gardner, he was like, well, probably going to be a little bit tighter so you could add the carbs and that way you're not moving so much because if you don't have the carbs against your skin, there's too much movement going on. I'm like, okay. But he only said a little bit, right? And then like, Mo the week prior was like, you don't have much to pull from, but it sounded like, but maybe a little, right? Like a hair. I'm like, okay, so like a pound or two, which is what we're thinking. And then I asked another judge on his way out, and I'm like, he goes, actually, I think you're and he judged 2 pro qualifiers. He's like, I think your conditioning's good right now, right? So I'm like, okay, I must be that close,
Right there.
right there because we don't want to pull down too much because then I can't fill in because I
Hmm.
already know once I get in a hole like you were talking about, I get in a hole, forget about it. I am in that hole for like 3 months.
It's burned.
three
Yeah.
months. I'm out, you guys. I'm out. I need a 3 month off season to fill back in. Like this is,
And
I will
that
be.
happens to a lot of people. That happened to Charlie too. Like she was like
Yes.
going into the show, then she couldn't keep weight on. They
Yeah.
just feeding her and feeding her, and
Don't
so
put me in
it.
a ditch. Don't
Yeah.
put me. I'll be in a ditch, and then bye, guys. I'll see you guys in August, I guess, because I can't get out of the hole. Like it just, it takes like 6 burger and fry meals every 2 days. I did that last bikini season. I just couldn't keep my weight on. I'm like, Five Guys it is. My mom's like, well, aren't you like supposed to be like healthy? And I'm like, yeah, burger and fries like every
It's
2 days.
protein.
Protein and carb.
Yeah.
It was good, but I got tired of it. I was like, okay, this is
Yeah.
stupid at this rate. But yeah, so just take it with a grain of salt. The last thing I want to talk about, Olympia has announced that Fit Model will be on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Both prejudging and finals. So just a one and done like expo. So if you guys are going to the Olympia expo, you could watch Fit Model. It's going to be included in there.
So it'll be a
Yeah.
good thing because we'll find out who Miss Olympia is earlier.
Yeah. I have my own feelings about this, okay? And I'm gonna speak freely. Because two things can be true at once. One,
Yes.
okay, one, this is the way that they do things when a new division is announced. They did it to
Yes.
men's physique, they did it to
Yes.
wellness. This is how they do things, okay? Does
Yes.
it make me sad? Yes. Okay, so two things can be true at once. Do I
Yes.
find it anticlimactic? Yes. Am I sad every year when I watch Wheelchair and I'm like, oh man, I really wish they could go to finals because that's like the prestige of it is making it to that big stage. You know, we've done 4 Olympias. I've done 4 Olympias with Emmanuel, like as his
Yes.
partner, and 2 Olympias. He got fourth. The other two, he did not make it to finals, and that was like the huge indicator of like, oh, if you could just get into finals. I remember feeling like that last year because he got 11th, and he was right there. It's like, oh, just
Oh,
get into finals and get into that night show. You know,
just
it's
to
like
get on
seeing
that
him.
stage.
Yeah, on the big stage, man, it is something seeing someone you love on that big stage like that. And I obviously it's been like my goal this whole year is like I want him to be able to see me on that big stage.
Oh,
So that is like, there's a little bit of heartbreak for me personally, you know, because now
yeah.
I'm like, well, you'll maybe see me on the expo stage if I make it there.
Yeah, there is a bit of disappointment knowing
It's
that
kind
we
of
won't even get the
anticlimactic.
chance to make it there, but
Yeah,
I'm sad about it because my daughter, like that promise I made to her about making it to the Olympia stage, I can't fulfill it this year, even if I qualify. But next year we'll make it happen because I do predict Fit Model will be very popular.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think if we could keep putting the division out there, it's just going to build it, and the popularity is already increasing. I mean, with the amount of people who are showing up at the seminars and the events and
I mean,
the
Japan made a
exposure.
statement with 47 competitors, so obviously there's
yeah.
going to be a demand for pro
500
shows.
people on a live stream, you know, like
Yep.
we've proven our return on the investment. So
There's a lot of revenue to be made in Fit Model, so
yeah, I do
Yeah,
think
it'll
like
happen next year.
we kind of get this where it's like just smile and take it and fit model and we just have to do that, you know, and so which I
yeah,
To a
understand.
certain degree, some of us are more spicy.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that it's like, oh, we should just be happy to be there, which obviously I think anyone who makes it to the Olympia on the first year is going to be happy to be there. But it is a little anticlimactic to know that you're going to get off stage for comparison and you're going to come out and then find out who the fit model Olympia is. It's I think different than we imagined that looking, you know,
yeah.
because
I guess it was unexpected, right? It wasn't what we thought, but like then again, if you do look at the history, like, oh,
it
okay,
makes sense. It
they should have been
tracks.
at the expo the first year. And if anything, it does get more regular eyes on us, right? Because not everyone's buying tickets because they are. I
They're
have
very
the
pricey.
VIP tickets. I
They
have.
sell out.
I guess even if I qualify, I'll be able to go watch by myself anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, I went to finals last year, and my ticket in the nosebleed section was $300. I did sit
yeah,
next to Derek Lunsford's uncle, so seeing him get super excited when he won was amazing. So it's like we don't get to experience that with our
Yeah.
yeah.
family and friends that go to watch us, but it
Even the
is what it
athlete
is.
tickets that they reserve for the athletes, they're like so in the nosebleeds, and they still cost.
Yeah.
They're
So
hefty.
like if you think about it that way, most people like that might follow us on here and they're at the expo, they can at least watch us because it's
Yeah.
while you're
Like,
there,
you
right?
see everything at the expo. The seating, you know, even at the Arnold's and whatever, I'm watching Emmanuel on a screen. You know, he's like
Yeah.
this big, you know,
See,
actually on
you
the
have
stage.
some positives.
Yeah, there we go. You know, was where I actually really watched bikini prejudging and men's physique
Yes.
prejudging because you can actually see what the judges are seeing because you're so close if you can get a seat in that pit. So, you know, there's benefits to that. I think we just have to show up for Fit Model Olympia, whether we're like on that stage or not, and make sure that crowd is packed out and show them that, you know, people are interested in this. And I
Yeah.
think that it'll be on the big stage the next year. You know, it's just, this is what they do. And once I kind of took a second to digest that,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, you know.
Yeah, yeah, because my husband was like, men's physique, they did that. And then, he went through the divisions and it is what it is. And it's exciting that they even have it at, the Olympia already, where it's just so brand new. And I know we get a lot of slack for, oh, it's such an entry level, like so small muscle. But, honestly, it's just we are women and our bodies naturally tend to look this way with all of the exercise we all do, right? Like all
Hmm.
three of us, I know, train so hard. I train so hard, I injure myself. Like I train so hard. And like we all fit, stick to like really tight nutrition plans. Like this requires a lot of effort and work just because it might not look like it on the outside. The application is there and we just, decide to go different routes and we, Perhaps even if we decided to go a route with bikini and when we wanted to utilize a bunch of things, we still might not ever get there because like maybe our genetics, that's, I know I'm a smaller frame person. That's just where I'm going to be, and that's okay. I'm okay with it. I kind of like this. I kind of like the look. I like, I like it. I think it's
I like
good.
how I feel walking around like this versus when I was in bikini. When I would put on regular in the gym, I felt very cool. I really liked the way I looked
I like being
outside of the
shredded in
gym.
Especially when
bikini
you're
though.
like
Yeah.
pumped up and you see yourself in the
Hmm.
mirror looking all jacked.
I
It's
love
nice. But
Yeah,
when you're
bikini.
walking around, you get concerned stares from people
Yeah.
too. They're like, "Are you okay? Like, are
I
you
liked
eating
it
enough?
too.
What are you doing to yourself?"
Yeah, I had some good shreds when I was in bikini. I can get
Yeah.
shredded. Like that's the easy
But when I
one.
would put on a dress, I didn't like it as much. And that's
Yeah.
not something I saw when I see other people. When I see a muscle lady in a dress, I'm like, oh man, that looks badass.
Yeah.
But on me, I just didn't like it. So it is what it
Yeah.
is.
I
Yeah.
think bikini is amazing, and I mean, if I could look bikini, I would be happy. But it's not where my genetics are, and this age that I'm at, I'm not. It's not probably going to happen in my lifetime.
I'm
Maybe
still trying
next
to get back to
lifetime.
bikini one day.
Yeah, and I mean, we all could. I mean, that's the other
Our
thing.
ways.
Oh, and one last thing I want to wrap up because that's actually a good conversation because there were so many good questions asked at the Tampa seminar, which is nice. So they were encouraging, the judges were encouraging athletes, no matter which division, okay, no matter men, women, whatever, don't try to fit yourself into a smaller division because this happens in all divisions. Okay, they're like, don't try to cram yourself into this smaller division and avoid growing into the division you actually should be in. They're like, we see it so many times, all the examples of all the divisions.
Classic and open. You see it all the freaking time. These
They're
guys are
like,
like
stop doing
pushing
that
themselves.
because you're
It's a
just
classic.
never gonna get to where you need to be or want to be. And you could see, like, I literally saw a girl that did fit model at nationals, and she just won bikini overall at
At
amateur
Arnold.
With
Arnold.
Arnold.
And she looked
Yeah.
amazing.
And she was incredible. And I'm like, don't fit yourself into a box.
Yeah.
I could apply myself as for 5 more years in bikini and never get to where I am now with fit model because like because my genetics are better for fit model, right? So like that's where I go, right? But like so it's you go both ways for that. So they did say that they would love for people to stop trying to cram themselves in these little boxes when they have divisions for everyone now. There's literally division for everyone.
It's a
So
starter, not a step down. And like there's exceptions. Of course, always there's bikini pros who haven't been active in a long time, and there's some that fit in great. I think Jess fits in great for fit model. I even
Hmm.
think Jess could be growing in fit model, and she is a Masters, Miss Olympia champion.
yeah,
Uh, so there's exceptions to the rule, but it's also just I don't know if we talked about this last week, but as you get older, also to be actively trying to get muscle off your body is not great. Muscle is a really
it's
great
expensive.
thing to have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's going to protect you. And like, there's so many benefits having muscle on your body that actively trying to get that off of you, especially, after 30 is not smart
Will have
for your
negative effects on just your skeletal system because having
Yeah.
muscle there helps strengthen that. Then also, I think the look of people that are bringing their muscle down looks more depleted. It
Yeah.
has more of like a stringy look to it,
Mm-hmm. Well, and
which
if it
doesn't
was
help
full
with,
and healthy,
yeah.
it's not dieted and
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So they were just like, try not to put yourself in the box. And then, yeah, it's been said multiple times. It's fit model is created where it is the entry level muscle, but they don't expect everyone to stay in fit model either. They said people will be growing into other categories, which is cool, and great and encouraged, right? So, that was just something they had talked about. And I thought that was great. And they also said that, Janet was thought that fit model was a little bit different than she saw when by the time she got to Japan and she talked to the judges about that. So the one judge that had talked about it, and Janet was there at Tampa, so she wasn't like just being talked about. Like, and she, fit model was different than she thought it was, and that's okay, right? And it's okay to change your mind or to I don't know what her decision is on that. I'm just saying she realized fit model was different. That's all. And
I think the best way to find out is if you actually do a fit model show. If you're contemplating it and aren't sure if you're more fit model or bikini, just do a show and fit model and see what
and
the
the judges
feedback
will tell
is.
you.
You stack
They
up.
will.
And they will tell you. And we were talking to one girl, posing, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like you've got really capped delts. I feel like you could probably do bikini, but they didn't want to. It was their first show. That's cool. Get your feedback. I could be wrong. But you might need to fill out some more or something because like she had like crazy beautiful. I was like, I wish I looked like that at some point in my life. Like they were amazing. I'm like, really? Like she looked great from the back too. I'm like, really? I'm like, man, like I just
Hard
saw
when
so
you
much.
see that bikini potential, man.
I'm like, oh, but like, yeah, exactly. I was thinking, I'm like, oh, but like, what if you go get in a bikini pose? I kind of
Well,
want to
and
go
then you
put her in
see them
one.
like trying to pull that
Yeah,
muscle off, and it's like, wait, what if we just pushed a little harder
yeah,
to grow?
yeah,
Maybe it's an extra 6 months, and you could really like be really good in
yeah,
bikini. Like, as girls who have bikini dreams, it's
yeah.
so
I'm like,
hard to
It's hard
watch.
to see people
yeah,
with
I'm
the
like this. I'm
beautiful
like,
shoulders want to take that away. I'm like, why? I wish I had your
yeah,
shoulders.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm like
Like,
grabbing her. I'm like, but wait, I just feel like we
Like,
could just.
no, change your mind, keep the muscle.
I like literally tried to convince her like 3 times, and so did
Yeah.
Vanessa. Like we were both like, look, and we're like, do you realize we're the same weeks out, and we look like we're pros, and like this is what our arm looks like and our shoulder.
they're so sad. They're so sad.
But this is what I look like, right? Like I've never had big shoulders, so I'm like, this is cool,
Mm-mm.
this is cool, man. Like I'm good. Like it's okay. This is my shoulders are finally bigger for fit model finally.
I just love like the bikini shoulders and just overall muscle because you walk around looking like an action
I do
figure.
miss being dry. I do like I get some shreddies like in my abs and stuff. I'm like I kind of do miss that. I kind of feel like, do I go on stage really at this like softer feel, or because like I'm so used to getting so hard and dry, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I kind of do like the hard dry feel, but it doesn't look as good because it kind of looks strung out because I don't have enough like fullness when I do that. But I'm like, oh, but I like being dry.
Cooler.
Fuller. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are over an hour. We're an hour and 20 minutes.
You could talk
We need
forever.
we need touch base on everything. Like we had a couple other side notes, but
We'll say
plenty to
that
talk about
for
this year.
next time.
Yeah, but next time. But thank you guys for tuning in, and we're gonna let Liz go to UK and figure out when we'll do our next one, because she'll be busy, and I'm sure we'll spiral a couple more times.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Every week we're spiraling about something different.
But we have each other to spiral to. We're like literally, you guys don't even want to see our chat sometimes. This is wild.
You're a disaster. Like I think I was the biggest disaster this week. So we rotate.
No, I think we
I
all
don't know,
were.
you with your back pose.
We all had our spirals, honestly. It was
Yeah, you guys. I'm just happy I figured this whole back post thing out because man,
it is so much better, which is crazy. Doing less, sometimes doing less, you get more out of it, okay? Take
Yeah.
what you want from that statement.
just don't lie to me because y'all thought my back pose looked good before before I went to Tampa,
Well,
and I'm
that was
like,
Well, I
before
didn't
we
have
saw the
another
updated
option.
back pose.
Yeah.
you're like that looks better, and I'm like, but wait, there's a better one, and yeah, that's fine. So don't be afraid to change things, and don't be afraid to work hard, and you could totally change your look. You might actually have everything you need. You just aren't presenting it well. So that's my conclusion to our podcast today. So thanks again, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your week. If you guys are tuning in on YouTube, this will be our episode 4 or 5. I'll have to see when I write it up, but this has been fun, you guys, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Bye.